Hi everyone, it's SJ and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about curating your makeup kit 1 week at a time. Kind of hard hearing that from me since I am a makeup addict, but trust me, in 2025, we're getting better and smarter with our makeup choices. The entire reason for this series and for this project of curation is to really be a little bit smarter when it comes to what we add in our collection and what we already have. That's what I want you to think about when you see my series when it comes to the glow edit. I'm not necessarily copying the makeup per se of what I'm seeing, but I'm using what I have at home to create it. I want you to see what you have in your collection that can make it work. And if you don't have anything, that's when I tell you, okay, if you love this look, you're really happy with the review that I gave it, go for it. But I just want us to be smarter when it comes to our wallet and to just be a little bit more intentional. You're talking to the person that's like the most impulsive ever, so it's gonna be hard for me as well. This is my goal for this, to remember what we have, to kind of condense our makeup kit and to make it the best makeup kit in the world. So let's dig in. Let's talk about what I use this week. So this is my beauty. It is a makeup case by Etoile. I'll link it down below. It is wonderful just because if you're someone like me that has quite a larger collection and you want to have a place where you're selecting products and you're going to use it on a regular day-to-day, this is perfect. This is especially good because sometimes I'm filming upstairs in my vanity and sometimes I'm down here in my studio. So that makes it super easy for me to just bring it anywhere. This really sounds like it's sponsored, but it's really not. I'm just explaining to you why I love this so much. It seems like a lot of makeup, which it is, but for me, it's curated. These are all the products that you chose that you wanted me to use. Just kind of play with them a little bit more and gather some thoughts. I use the Shiseido Revitalescent Skin Glow. This is a beautiful foundation that's a little bit leaning more on the skin tint. It's really glossy. It doesn't dry down completely, so you do have to use powder if you have oily skin. It's a really beautiful formula. I used it a couple times this week and then I was kind of craving something else. And the reason for that is I have a thorough skincare and I use a lot of products that are glowy underneath. I felt like sometimes this was a little too glowy. I had to use more powder and I prefer using less powder. So this will not make it to my top shelf. The whole point of this is for us to have a curated collection. So since I have a big collection, I'm working on trying and retrying and replaying with things on a longer period of time. So a week, so that I can really form my decision as to, do I love this? Do I want to keep it? Or is it like, it's okay and I can give it to someone else that's gonna love it more than me, because at the end of the day, there's only one face I have and too much product is making me go crazy. I also forgot to mention that I emptied out my entire makeup vanity upstairs because we're gonna be building it together while this series continues. For my skin base, I used Isle Paradise twice. I think I would like this more in the summer as a one and done mixed with moisturizer, but as of now, it's not something that I feel like I need in my routine. So do I like it? Sure. Is it gonna be a top contender? No. I might hold on to this just to try more in the spring, summer. But for now, it's just not something that I'm gonna gravitate towards. Strangely this week, I didn't really wear a lot of primers. I did use my Iconic London a couple of times, but on the day-to-day when I don't want my makeup to last like a super long time, I kind of skip the primers and I just go in with my moisturizer and I'm quite fine. But this one is wonderful. This is top shelf. For sure. I did not want to like this. I did not want to get this foundation stick, but part of me was like, you need to try this. And it is absolutely stunning. It ages so beautifully. I'm wearing it on my skin today and I wore it yesterday too and the other day before. I guess Shiseido got kicked to the curb so badly. I need to keep using this to see if it really will be my day-to-day. If I say that it's a top shelf, I'm not saying that yet, but it's very promising. Let me know if you've tried this one because it's freaking fantastic. The only thing I'll say is I wish it wasn't fragrance, but unfortunately high-end luxury products are always scented most of the time. It's still amazing. I'm so happy with this. As much as I'm a blush addict, I did not use all the blushes that I asked for you to choose just because it was too much. So I'm gonna try to be a little bit stricter on myself next week. I didn't end up using any of my Makeup by Mario, but for a specific reason. I was spending so much time using my KJH smudge sticks. And what I love the most about it, and you'll see in some of the videos that I posted this week, there's some colors in here that I would never really wear on its own, but when you're blending them together, you kind of create your own color. And when I was trying to recreate a look from Sabrina Carpenter, I didn't have that specific lipstick. So instead, I used what I had. So it may come from a consumer standpoint, looking at my page, wow, she used 4 products to make her lip work. but it's because I used what I had in my collection to make it work. So how can my curated collection stretch out and make more looks than just one thing I always want to convey, and what I can't always convey on my page because Instagram wants for me to just talk for like 30 seconds. I love things that are multi-use. I love things that can transform into something else. All in all, the KJH smudge sticks are terrific. I'm using Softberry on my lips today. It's so wonderful. I actually didn't use any of my Huda Beauty liquid blushes. I really love them, so I really want to make sure that I'm using them next week. The reason why I didn't use the Soft Pop Plumping Blush Veil from Makeup by Mario is because of this new cream highlight from Westman Atelier. Now this costs a pretty penny. I couldn't not get this because of the colors. This is the shade Petal. I'll put like a side video right here. It's so stunning. I'll put it like right here on the back of my hand for you to see what it looks like. It's a sheer veil of pink that adds a lot of glow. So what I was doing for most of my looks this week is when I finished my entire makeup, I would put this just on my cheeks to make them extra glowy and extra fresh. And I find that's like the best tip when you want to start looking a little bit more fresh when you're getting in your late 30s and you're thinking you're looking dry and not youthful. And the more your skin is dry, the more your aging lines are going to show, right? At least for me. So this really helped looking like I was healthy, that I just came back from the gym, that I drank all my green juice and I ate all my vegetables. This is definitely a contender for my top drawer. I also cheated because I said I was only going to use this highlight, but there was a new launch this week and I knew I had to try it, and it's the Dior Glow Maximizer and it's in the shade Tutu. I have the shade in kind of like the rosy shade, but this is such a beautiful formula and an easy one and done. I'm wearing it on my cheek today. And this is the product, if you're afraid to be that person that has blush blindness, this can't give you blush blindness because it's quite gentle. It gives a nice gleam. It doesn't have like big sparkles in it, so it won't emphasize any aging lines. I know that these are brands that are a little bit pricier. The whole point of narrowing down our curated collection is to have things that just spark joy. I rather save my money and buy something that I will absolutely adore and use every single day than to get tons of things and try to make it work, because I know there's a lot of things at drugstores that can work, but just the packaging, the whole experience is what I'm looking for. We also selected 3 powders. I only used the Kosas one and this one from Hourglass. I didn't even use the Makeup by Mario, so Makeup by Mario, I'll test it out a little bit more next week. These are the only shadows I used this week, along with my Natasha Denona palette. I love these. These ones are from Armani. My favorite shade is the shade 22, which is the one that everyone loves, but I also really enjoy the shade 30 when I want to cool it down a little bit. I've been wearing the shade 70 in my inner corner all week just to brighten it up a little bit. So on days where you don't want to have white or a nude, this shade is quite lovely, especially if you're a soft summer or cool undertone. 2 shimmery shades that I really enjoy, but the ones that I find are worth your money is the shades 67 and 68. This is what they look like. I'm trying to zoom in for you guys to see it. The shade 68 I wore on its own today when I want to have just a quick wash of color on my eyes. And this shade, I think it's called Sparkles. It's this beautiful champagne silvery shimmer. I use it for the Sabrina Carpenter look, just put on top to add a little bit more dimension. And what I love about this is that you're not gonna have any fallout when it comes to shimmers. Let's talk concealers. There's 2 concealers that I used this week that I've really thoroughly enjoyed. The first one is the MAC Studio Radiance. Those are the ones you chose. I only use the shade NW10. I love how radiant this is. It's not too matte, it's not too glowy. I find that it's an all-around good concealer. Is it my top shelf? I don't know. That's when I'm going to start comparing my next videos when I'm using another concealer and figure out which one I like best. I also received the Kosas Brightener Concealer, so I really want to compare them this week. There was the shade Magic and Illusion that I compared on socials, and you basically all chose Magic. However, I have my own opinion when it comes to that, and it's not so straightforward. You want to have something really simple. I do agree that Magic is perfect. The only thing I would say is that sometimes Magic might be a little too bright if you're not doing a full glam day or like a soft glam. On days where I want to be super natural, I think I would go for Illusion and just top it off with a little bit of concealer. All in all, this is a great formula. I have really dry under eyes and I'm starting to have aging lines because hello, I'm 38 and turning 39 this year. So I decided that I'm actually going to keep these for next week so that I can really play along with them and figure out if they're a top shelf contender. I'm actually really curious to see if these products will dethrone my Charlotte Tilbury color corrector, because this under the eyes is like beautiful, gorgeous, magical. I didn't make you pick, but I wore these lip liner stains all week and I'm obsessed with them. My favorite shade is Pinked. That's the one I'm wearing today. I also like Mauve. The reason why I love it so much is that the first thing that goes away when I do my makeup is my lip liner. Or if I eat something and drink something, it starts to kind of go away and it stays. But with this, I find that I have kind of like a lip liner assurance where I know that even if my lip liner fades a little bit, this will make it stick. So it's just double insurance. It's double insurance and I'm gonna keep that in my bag. So the last thing I used was this mascara combo. This MAC primer, I forgot how much I love it. So this is going in my top shelf right away. I forgot how much I love the Tarte 28 mascara. Today I'm wearing it on its own and yesterday I was wearing it with the primer and I think that this is a winning combination. It's absolutely stunning. We're gonna change brown mascara for next week, but this was great. That was it for this week. I'm really happy with things that came out. There's things I'm gonna have to put back in the kit just because I didn't have time to try them on. This is so much fun and it's so much more fun now that you're with me along for this journey and we can do this together. So you can also tailor your kit and we can bounce ideas back and forth in the comment section. If you want to be part of next week's selection, make sure you follow me on Instagram at Always Playing with Makeup. And I will be sharing in stories on Sunday the poll on what product we get to choose for next week. I will see you in the next one and thanks for watching.